G'day, that's Slot Car Guy here, and welcome back to another slot car video. And this is a SHMEE150 special. If you haven't heard, the SHMEEmuseum has now got a slot car track. So welcome back to another video, and I do have to apologise for the poor lighting, the bad audio, and a bit of a bland backdrop because I am back in the slot shed, so you might hear some birds chirping in the background, and it is unfinished. If you are new to the channel, I am building an epic slot shed and it's not finished at all. But there is another reason why I'm in here, because the legend himself, Tim SHMEE150, has now got a Carrera slot car track at the SHMEEmuseum. Before I get into that and tell you why I think that's awesome on so many different levels, I did reach out to SHMEE and ask permission to mention him in one of my videos, because out of respect to him, he has millions of followers and I don't want to ride on someone else's coattail, but I think it's very important that I do a video on this for our hobby. And of course, the legend has replied back and we've been talking back and forward, so thank you for that, SHMEE, but he did give me permission to mention him in a video, which is really, really cool. So let's get stuck into why I think this is a really good thing for our hobby. So firstly, I have to say a massive hats off to Carrera for supplying SHMEE with some track. Now, if you haven't seen the video, I will keep mentioning this. It is linked below. Go check it out. But he is using Carrera track. Let me talk about Carrera first. Of course, I think they're an incredible company. I went and saw the Carrera World before it was released, which is very, very close. It might be, I think it's this week. So I think it's a really good brand. And if you are looking at getting into slot car racing, collecting, or you just want to try a brand, Carrera is really good. I'm not going to knock any other brand, but we're purely going to talk about Carrera because that's what SHMEE is using. Really good starter brand, really good quality. And if you do have big space like the SHMEEmuseum and myself, the slot shed, it is the perfect track. It is huge. So hats off to Carrera, because SHMEE is a car guy. Look at his collection, the shed itself, and I think he's going to have a lot of fun with it. So again, I'm going to link his video below. Check it out, really good watch. So let's talk about the Carrera track that SHMEE is using now. If you don't watch my channel, I do use Carrera, and there's many reasons why I use Carrera, because I have quite a large shed, not as big as the SHMEEmuseum, but my shed is quite large. So for a plastic track, this is the biggest you can get to make the biggest layout you possibly can. And the weather in here is up and down. It's cold, it's dewy, it can be really hot in summer, and the makeup of the Carrera track really stands the test of time. That's my reasons for doing it. And I won't mention the other brands, but the other brands are really, really good. But I think Carrera is a great choice for SHMEE, because compared to my shed, his is a monster. And if he does want to expand it, he's got all the room in the world. So I think Carrera was the right choice. Let's talk the track layout. Now, if you haven't watched the video, I'll link it below. It's a really good watch. Please go and watch it. It's actually quite fun because you get to see some of his Lego collection in the background. Yes, I was looking at the video back and forth because I'm pointing here because I have Lego, but it is really cool to see it from start to finish. Now, on the table when the track is being built, you'll see a laptop, and there's a screenshot on the laptop of a track. Now, from what I can see, that is the track from Carrera World. Now, if you haven't seen my video of the walkthrough of Carrera World before it was released to the public and under construction, check it out, because that track is in the lobby. I believe that's the track on the laptop. And then the finished product, it looks similar. Now, I don't know if it's 100% that track that he's built, but looking at the screenshot on the laptop and the track itself, it looks very similar, which I think that's pretty cool if he's done that. It's a bit of a throwback to Carrera saying, thank you, and here's your track. Really cool. If you haven't been to Carrera World, I think that's opening this month, go check it out. So why do I think this is a positive thing for our slot car hobby? Well, firstly, these are my reasons only, of course, and you may or may not agree, but there's 1,000 reasons I could give you, but I will just touch on a few. The person that Carrera has chosen to give the track to, SHMEE150. Now, if you haven't watched the video, I highly recommend it. And it is linked below. Go watch the video, because him and his team really do have a good time. You can't fake that. They're absolutely having a blast and they're very competitive. So I think the track itself, I think the track's in good hands. It might spike some fun into someone who used to race or used to collect or used to use it as a hobby. And some new generation people might go, what is this slot thing? Which kind of scares me, because people might not know what this hobby is. Secondly, exposure. The person, SHMEE150, the SHMEEmuseum, anyone who watches that channel will now know that there is a slot car track there. Take away the brand, that doesn't matter, but there is a slot car track at the SHMEEmuseum, which I think is pretty cool. Now, to make note on that, whether there's any more content made on it, I don't think that matters. I think just knowing that he's got a track there, I think that's awesome. So to me, that is a win. I think third and final, the people who visit the SHMEEmuseum, there's going to be some very important people who walk through those doors who may or may not race on that track, and I think that is a really cool thing. There's going to be a slot car track at the SHMEEmuseum, so really what I'm trying to say is any publicity for this niche hobby is really good. For someone like me who dedicates a channel to it and a Facebook page to it, it just makes me smile. We have an absolute legend who is enjoying a slot car track. What more can I say? But what's your thoughts? Let me know in the comment. Do you think this is a good thing for the hobby? I really do. So that's a wrap why I think SHMEE150 having a slot car track at the SHMEE Museum is a positive thing for our hobby. But let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are. Massive thank you to Tim SHMEE for getting back to me on Instagram. He did not have to. You could have went straight past my message, but he had the time and day to have a conversation with me in the DM. So thank you, mate. And I really do hope you enjoy your slot car track. And thank you for giving me permission to mention you in one of my videos. And hopefully we can have a showdown one day. But as always, at That Slot Car Guy on Instagram and YouTube. Apologies for the really raw video, but I did want to come out and do it in the slot shed. But be safe, take care, support your local. Ciao.